Welcome to the 26th Annual Flame for Learning Teacher of the Year Award, brought to you by the Triangle Chamber of Commerce. This year has been an extremely busy year for our teachers as they've worked both in their classrooms and virtually. And we want to take that moment to thank them for pivoting on a moment's notice and continuing the education of our children here in Johnston County. What a phenomenal job they've done. And this year has been a challenge as well to continue the tradition of the Flame for Learning Award. And you'll see tonight that we're going to bring this award to you virtually. Been a lot of behind the scenes work being done so that we can continue to honor our teachers and present that Teacher of the Year so that winner will go on to represent the teachers of Johnston County at the regional level. We're proud to bring that to you this evening. We started out with 232 teacher nominations, and that got us to 103 teachers submitting best practices to be judged for the competition. The judging was done in two parts. First was a written best practices presented to our panel of judges, and then the second part was a video presentation where we in past would have actually done that in person. We did it by video. So that the judges could then meet virtually through Zoom to be able to pick our winners this year. We will present to you this evening the 20 finalists and learn a little bit about those folks. And then we will present the final four and give you some detailed information about the best practices that they put forward. And then we will honor our Teacher of the Year. First, I'd like to start the evening by thanking our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor is Chick-fil-A of Smithfield. Our grant sponsor this year is the team at Walmart, both at Smithfield and in Cleveland. Our platinum sponsor, the Johnston County Ed Foundation. Our gold sponsor, the Clayton Chamber of Commerce. Silver sponsors, the Benson Chamber of Commerce, Country Superstars 102.3, and medicaltraining.me. And our bronze sponsors, the Armstrong Law Firm, the Four Oaks Chamber of Commerce, and Representative Donna White. Thank you all for taking the time to help us honor our teachers in Johnston County.
Hello, this is Ben Williams, Interim Superintendent for Johnston County Public Schools. I want to take a moment to congratulate all of the nominees for the Flame for Learning and to congratulate our award recipient for Flame for Learning as well. Thank you so much for all you do for Johnston County Public Schools and your desire and passion for teaching and educating our young people. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Todd Sutton, Johnston County Board of Education Chair. I would like to congratulate all of our nominees for the Flame for Learning for 2020. Thank you for what you do on a daily basis. And at this time, I would like to congratulate our 4 finalists for Flame for Learning for this school year. We really appreciate what you do on a daily basis as well. And we thank you for working extremely hard on a daily basis right now as we go through the pandemic that we're experiencing in Johnston County Public Schools as well as across the state. And now I just wish good luck to the winner, but all of you are winners in Johnston County Public Schools because we really appreciate what you do for our students on a daily basis. God bless you.
Hi, I'm Keith Dimsdale with Chick-fil-A at Smithfield. Our founder, Truett Cathy, always believed that the people were more important than the food. Because of that, he always invested in young people that work with him at his restaurant, giving over millions of dollars in scholarships and providing opportunities for them to grow. In keeping with that tradition, Chick-fil-A at Smithfield is proud to be the sponsor again this year of the 26th Annual Flame for Learning Award presented by the Triangle East Chamber. You know, the education system, the calling to be a teacher is a valued asset to our community, and we're so proud of all of our teachers and staff and folks involved with the education system who help make our community the best it can be. And we thank you for the hard work that you do in developing students and making them become the best that they can be. You know, as a parent of 2 students who have graduated from the Johnston County schools, as an employer of hundreds that have come through the system, and as a community person, a community member, I'm just really excited about the work that you're doing in the education system and the work that you're doing to provide great education for these students. You know, this year we had 232 nominations and 103 best practices were submitted for this great award. I just want to say congratulations to all of you. Job well done. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to once again being able to celebrate another Teacher of the Year here in Johnston County, and wish them the best as they continue to pursue their career and do the great work that they're doing with the education and development of our students. Thank you.
Hello to all, representing the 26th Flame for Learning Awards, hosted by the Triangle East Chamber. My name is Jacob Freeman, store manager at the Smithfield, North Carolina Walmart, and also representing Jeff Jobs, store manager at the Garner Walmart. We want to take the time to say thank you to the teachers here in Johnston County. Your hard work does not go unnoticed here in your communities. We at Walmart are proud to be able to support dedicated and hardworking people like the teachers we have educating our children to brighten not only their futures, but to all of our futures. Here at Walmart, we choose to sponsor Flame for Learning for the simple fact our teachers in our community are truly helping to develop our future leaders and our community's children. It is so important to recognize you for what you do day in and day out, and know you are very much appreciated. In the end, we want to wish all the nominees and finalists of these awards the very best of luck. You all deserve recognition, and again, Walmart wants to say thank you for all you do.
The 2020 Flame for Learning semifinalists are Brittany Addison of Westview Elementary, Tonya Painter of McGee's Crossroads Elementary, Amanda Turner of Clayton Middle, Mary Horn of Riverwood Elementary, Monica Manzer of Clayton High, Traci Miodusewski of Polenta Elementary, Glenna Wozniak of Meadow School, Nicole Humphrey of Westview Elementary, Carmen Young of Wilson's Mills Elementary, Maryam Duran of Archer Launch Middle, Valorie Trombley of Riverwood Elementary, Lena LaBeouf of Polenta Elementary, Morgan Jones of Micro Elementary, John Stull of West Johnston High, Colleen Bonner of West Johnston High, Tammy Todd of McGee's Crossroads Elementary, Meredith Thompson of Princeton Elementary, Alan Williams of West Johnston High, Francis Clark of West Johnston High, Don Cunningham of Riverdale Elementary.
Welcome to the 26th Annual Flame for Learning Award Teacher of the Year here for Johnston County. I can't tell you how excited the Chamber is to be able to honor all of you. And I really want to take this time, first of all, to thank all of you for all of the work you do day in and day out. I think a lot of our parents over the last few weeks have really figured out you guys do so much as they've had the kids home. And we also appreciate your abilities to pivot like you did in early March and continue that learning process through difficult times. My hat's off to you. It's been a lot of heavy lifting, and you guys pulled it off and did a phenomenal job. We're so excited to have this group of 20 semifinalists with us today. They have worked extremely hard to get to this point. There's been a lot of behind the scenes work to get this done. I want to first thank our Vice President of Operation, Kelly Wallace, who also pivoted in March and really made us kind of stand up and figure out how we're going to get this thing done virtually. And she pulled it off through judging and now through the presentation. And our hopes and prayers are for this to be a live event next year, because our goal this year was really to bring all of you together on stage and actually welcome in all of the community into a large auditorium to give you the recognition that you deserve. So hopefully we'll get a good audience for this, and again, appreciate all that you do. I need to do some housekeeping here. I want to thank, first of all, our sponsors that have helped us put this whole thing together. Our presenting sponsor this year is Chick-fil-A of Smithfield. and they have done this multiple years, very focused on education and supporting our educators. Walmart this year, both our Walmarts in Smithfield and also up at the Cleveland market teamed up to help us with this event this year. And then our bronze sponsor was Armstrong Law Firm. Our silver sponsor was the Benson Chamber of Commerce. Our gold sponsor, the Clayton Chamber of Commerce. Silver sponsor, Country Superstars 102.3. Bronze sponsor, the Four Oaks Chamber of Commerce. Our platinum sponsor was the Johnson County Ed Foundation. Silver sponsor, medicaltraining.me. And our bronze sponsor, Representative Donna White. So without those folks and their help, we wouldn't be able to put this on. I want to take a minute to thank the Flame for Learning Committee. They also too had to do a big pivot in this process this year. But I can tell you, we all sat around that table early on and said there was no way we were letting this be a canceled event. We were going to make it happen. So hats off and thank you to Dr. Michelle Casey, David Hendricks, and Dr. Paula Coates, Kelly, and I was honored to be able to be on that committee as well. And then the big heavy lifting of this event really went to our multiple stage judges. They had a lot of videos to review and a lot of I know my wife was one of the judges, and she walked in with the book that was this thick with all of your submissions at the very beginning. So it was a lot of heavy lifting from the judges. And thanks to Michelle Brownlee, Chris Mancuso, Christina Peterson, Sandra Stellings, Traci Johnson, Jane Burgess, Marvel Dixon, Jonna Falconer, Melissa Carley, Jasmine Kilpatrick, Lydia Moore, May Rice, and Monica Meadows. So thank you so much. And Monica is going to be here to speak on behalf of the judges and help us bring in the final three finalists and our winner for this year. And I also we've got some really great prizes for all of you. For one, all 20 of you will get a gift certificate to spend on yourselves, and we'll be making arrangements to get those to you. Our four finalists will get another level of gift certificate, and then our recipient will get another gift certificate, so they kind of stack on top of each other for the winner. And then that person also gets a 2-night stay at the Myrtle Beach Comfort Inn and Suites, a $200 celebration spa package from Salon 2911, and 6 credit hours at the University of Mount Olive for continuing your master's degree. And that one gave me chills just saying it. So we were glad to be able to put together some really nice gifts for all of you. And with that, I want to recognize Monica Meadows. Monica is new to our board this year. She is the sole proprietor and owner of 2MQ Consultants, and she is a dear friend of mine. Is that voice on my shoulder a lot of days, and I can't thank Monica enough for all she does for the chamber and our community. And I will hand off the rest of today to Monica.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Monica Meadows, like Michael said, and thank you, Michael, for that warm introduction. I am on the board with the Triangle East Chamber of Commerce, also the CEO of 2MQ Consulting. But today, I am representing the Flame for Learning Selection Committee. I am thrilled and honored to be sitting before all of you today. First, thank you for making yourselves available to be here today, but also thank you for taking heed to your calling as a teacher and an educator of our next gen, so to speak. Truly appreciate it. You will have invaluable skills and impact. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you do. As Mike said, we recognize that everything was not ideal in terms of the process this year, right? But what has been great to see is, again, your pivot. Your pivot is amazing. You know, we must say you rose to the occasion, and you were able to put your best foot forward with your videos and so forth in your presentations. And I must say, you all just rocked it. We thank you for being flexible in order to get it done again. When Kelly asked me to be a part of the selection committee, I said absolutely yes. I immediately said yes, however, not really understanding that I was really originally saying yes because I thought it was a way of giving back and being involved. However, it became so much more. It became so much more for me because I also received so much more. You all have inspired me. I am truly, truly encouraged by what I saw in the presentations. I saw compassion, I saw passion, I saw love for the students. I thought it was fantastic. And what really stuck out was that education is more than just the technical of math and science and language arts and social studies. It is really the development of our next generation when it comes to being socially conscious, being problem solvers, being effective communicators, and being able to get your idea across to someone so that they can understand and have buy-in. Fantastic. And it was interesting that a lot of those kinds of things were themed in all of your presentations, which was awesome, we don't hear enough about that part. We hear about the test scores and so forth all the time in the county and beyond, and that's across the country. However, really hearing about topics that really matter, that can really change the world, which makes the greatest impact, not only in academia, but also at home and in our communities. So I commend you all for that, for sure. You know, and like I said, you know, each one of you packaged and delivered it differently, but the theme was the same. So not only was I encouraged, I can tell you and speak for the committee because we've spoken about it, they too were extremely encouraged. You know, this COVID has been very challenging. It's been challenging for us as just, you know, community members. And I know Mike and his team has been, oh my goodness, he already expressed how challenging it has been for him, and he's been simply amazing when it comes down to impacting the community along with Kelly and the gang. But for you all as educators, it must have been an incredible challenge, and we heard that loud and clear in some of the presentations as well. You know, and what's interesting is that we're still in it, right? And the unknown is just that, unknown. We don't know how this is going to impact or change you know, education in terms of the deliverable in the long term. But you all were able to pivot and from in-person classroom to virtual classroom, and some of you were driving by your students and in the car waving to them, you know, which was awesome, just to provide them some comfort, which was great. And you know, even seeing the tears and from you all, some of you referred to them as your babies, you know, your students as your babies. It reminds me of the book that I, you know, used to read, and the relationship of, you know, with regards to, I think it was Make Way for Little Ducklings, you know. Yes, I dated myself. I went way back there. You know, and I'm going to tell you, if you want to know who can best pivot in a pinch, it's you. The teachers, you all can pivot like no one else can. You and the administrators and so forth, being able to get the technology, you know, up and running and into the students' hands and so forth. Amazing, fantastic. We need more of you, but I want to thank you for being you. Truly appreciate that. Truly appreciate that. Without further ado, we're here to do something. We're here to take care of a little business. But I can tell you, this business I don't mind doing. It's a lot of fun. It's fun for me for a lot of reasons. One of those reasons is that I come from a family of educators. I understand clearly the amount of effort, the amount of planning, the amount of giving that you all have to do to make it work. And then you got to put that other little special sauce in there of creativity so that they can enjoy what they're doing and hopefully get it. It's a lot. It's a lot, and you're pouring out a lot of yourself, and we truly appreciate it. So without further ado, I would like to begin by announcing the finalists, and there are 3 finalists. And with no particular order for the Flame for Learning of 2020. First, I would like to announce Carmen Young. Congratulations, Carmen. Carmen Young's best practice was fair and equal. Everyone likes to play. This was a joy with regards to, you know, kind of seeing the whole process. It was interesting because it pulled in a lot of things. It pulled in math and science and budget and economics, but it also pulled in things like real life and disabilities and inclusiveness and sensitivity and so forth. It was simply wonderful. It was really dealing with a lot of, you know, what is it? It started off with the question, should all people be treated the same? How timely, right? How timely. And what Carmen had mentioned is that they learned that the students understood and expressed that people are more specifically the students in the school have a variety of needs that need to be met to ensure stability, growth, accessibility, and safety. And it dealt with the disabilities in the schools. And what I really enjoyed about it and the team enjoyed about it is that you took the reading of a book and books that had characters that actually had those with disabilities in them and the challenges. Something that when I was growing up, a lot of this, yes, way back then, when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of books that had characters with disabilities in it. So I'm encouraged just by that alone. But then you took it the next step, and that next step was to create ability stations so that they can understand and get a glimpse of the life for someone with a disability. And then you didn't end it there. You took it the next step and introduced them to having real interactions with people with disabilities. And then how can we help them? How can we be of assistance? How can we make this fair so everyone can play? And then as a business, as an entrepreneur, and I like to see where you can take applications and drive it home with regards to an end. And when you took took them through an idea, help them to understand engaging people and rallying and getting the buy-in with regards to their idea, introducing them to professionals in the industry to help them to continue to develop and understand what's required. And then take them through things like gee, I want a do-over. I want to come back to school. In terms of a playground and design and surface considerations and so forth. And then that part of inclusion, a place where everyone can play. I commend you on your efforts. I'm excited. I want to hear more, and I'm sure others want to hear more as to where does the playground stand today, and if it was impacted by COVID and so forth, and is there anything that we can do to help you? So without further ado, congratulations, Carmen, and please take a few minutes to say a few words with regards to your project.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much to everybody involved in this process. For those of you who know me personally, you know that I take my role as a teacher in Johnson County very seriously. I've been here for 19 years, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for fantastic students. The projects that we do are only as powerful as the students who are participating in them, and that was really the motivating factor here. Was even in going through this process for Teacher of the Year, was for my students to be able to see that their work does matter and that their work can make a difference. Obviously, I have a heart for disabled populations and for people being treated with fairness and equity. And for those of you who know me well, you know that I have a disability myself, although I didn't put that into my entry because I didn't want it to be a factor in the decision. But I do think that throughout the project, my students were able to understand different perspectives, and they were able to take charge of affecting change in the world and affecting change in their campus. And they were able to love people and be compassionate and show all of those leadership skills that we as teachers know that students have. And it was an honor to be able to give them, to facilitate that process. But if they hadn't taken hold and made that ownership and just been excited and motivated, then the project wouldn't be what it was. The project wouldn't be what it is. It's still ongoing. As you mentioned, we've raised funds. We've had our first piece of playground equipment installed at Wilson's Mills Elementary. At this point, obviously, no one's been able to play on it because it was installed in the process of all of this COVID. So, of course, my students were a little disappointed. We're still holding out hope for a ribbon ceremony so that they can come and celebrate what we've done so far, but we're only just getting started. My hope is to continue this project with next year's students, to continue to raise money, to continue to improve our surface, and to improve the accessibility of our playgrounds, and just moreover, just to improve the perspective of our community about what it means to serve and provide and give equal accessibility and treatment to everyone. I'd be remiss today if I didn't, first of all, thank God for the opportunity to do what I love, for the opportunity to represent a fantastic county, as I mentioned, but also a wonderful school in Wilson's Mills Elementary. There's a great staff there. There are great students there. So thank you so much for honoring my work and my students' work today.
Thank you. We truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. The next of our finalists is Lena LaBouffe. And Lena, I must apologize if I killed the last name. Feel free to correct me.
That is okay.
We played around with that name a little bit as a committee, I tell you. But Lena, thank you very much, and congratulations. Lena's best practice was Conversation Cafe, and it spoke to the increasing of the reading comprehension through increasing also reading experiences. yeah, I was actually thrilled about it because, like I said, I was I'm a daughter and niece of educators, and I remember summer times having to sit through the summer and go through reading comprehension by way of SRA kit. Okay, so I truly appreciate your efforts and so forth. And some of the takeaways for me that, and as well as the committee, was really how you incorporated and broke down the reading of a story. I now know about the 5-finger retell, which was fantastic, as well as I really enjoyed seeing where then they did the turn and talk as well, which was increasing that communication and being able to transfer to someone else and start working on the oral communication skills and so forth, which was fantastic. Also being able to break down the stories the way they have was great too, from character to setting and so forth, and the creative ways that you did that and simplified. I would say, you know, one of the best things was that it was broken down into simplified, memorable, and you know, tools that they could actually use ongoing. It was fun, it was engaging, it was encouraging the critical skills, and I also love the part where you were bringing the families in for a book tasting as well, so that they could share. And I think some of you all also use some of those best practices, you know, that practice as well, which was great. I need to come back. And I have to say this, one, you know, I love the book Flight School. I need to go and get that. Seeing that I'm an aviation consultant. But two, I think one of the biggest takeaways for me was when you are teaching the children to turn and their oops into a wow. That, I mean, that just pushed me right on home. That was awesome. That was awesome. And that's something that they can use in their daily lives. And I think that was simply fantastic. That, you know, those things that don't go quite right, that's okay. Let's see what we can do to make it better and move forward from that. So again, congratulations. I want to give you a few words to speak about your experience and so forth. And do you plan on making any changes to your best practice at all? Did you learn, you know, what did you learn from your best practice?
I learn more and more from my students every day than I can ever teach them. I will constantly reflect on my practice, so I will constantly try to find ways to improve. But we really do take away, this year was the first year that we included the book tasting, and so that's something that I really, really would like to continue to do. I will most likely try to do it at the beginning of the year and the end of the year so the parents can actually see their progress, to see where they start, and then the progress in kindergarten. It's incredible. So
fantastic. Well, congratulations again for being a Flame for Learning 2020 finalist.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So last and certainly not least of our finalists goes to Brittany Addison. Brittany, don't be surprised, honey. My goodness. Brittany's best practice was morning meetings and meditation time. That was, you know, simply awesome. It was interesting that yours was about morning meetings and meditation time, and a lot of it had nothing to do with the technical skills at all. We got it. So if that's, you know, part of that whole delivery, you nailed it. You nailed it. And so, you know, what some of my takeaways was being intentional about the preparation of your day, as well as quiet time and meditation in terms of setting goals for your day and taking it that step further to application. How are you going to make that happen? How are you going to apply that in your day? Which was great. Definitely things that they can use throughout adulthood. it actually took me back to wanting to make sure that I'm starting my day off the way I really should. Some of the other takeaways were I am statements, those empowerment statements, which is something that I believe our youth need, and the team believes that our youth needs more and more today, as well as it's the building the from the inside out to change the world. We got that loud and clear. Embracing our differences was another theme in your best practices, quite a bit, and where you took the picture and they with all of the hands, and the hands had different shades and so forth, and where the hands came together, and you said that it makes, you know, the differences makes you strong, makes you all stronger, makes us stronger, and stronger to be able to help others and so forth. So I truly appreciate it. I know that the committee truly appreciated your efforts and so forth as well, and excited about, you know, what's to come, and that our next gen is going to actually be, have already started hearing some of these themes early on. So I thank you, we thank you, and if you would like to say a few words about your experience with it and so forth, we would love to hear from you, Brittany.
Yes, thank you so much. So I started morning meetings all the way back in my student teaching. So it's always been really important to me to teach the whole child. And I've always been a strong advocate for the social and emotional health of all of our students, because they can't learn if they're not in the right headspace. So this is something that I'm extremely passionate about. I was kind of hesitant to even submit it as my best practice because it doesn't go along with academics specifically, but I really do believe that if you can create that classroom environment, it does foster high student achievement. So it was an honor to even be nominated, especially among so many incredible teachers, especially some that I look up to myself. So just thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, and congratulations. That was, you know, we really appreciate all of the efforts of our finalists. So this was a difficult decision. You all do know that you made our job very, very difficult, right? Say yes. So without further ado, I would like to speak about the person. That's all I'm going to say. The person who will be our Flame for Learning Award recipient for 2020 Teacher of the Year. This person delivered a presentation that spoke about community. They spoke about building a social studies community. And it was entitled More Than a Classroom, More Than a Course. This year's Flame for Learning recipient, Teacher of the Year for 2020 goes to Amanda Turner. Amanda pivoted, and everybody has experience and understands that we had budget restrictions and so forth that we were up against. Amanda took the budget restrictions that would also impact a possible loss of the curriculum coach, and said, and she as well as others said, wait a minute, the curriculum coach is too valuable to lose. They do so much. And so then it was not about what we can't do, it was more about what we can do. So they started looking at how can we retain the curriculum coach but still be able to deliver what we need to deliver to the students. So they got creative. Amanda had enlisted the math, science, a language art, teacher of each, one of each, and who independently taught those subjects. So three others were enlisted, and uniting their time at the end of the day with social studies. So they taught their independent subjects, each of them. And then at the end of the day, they combined and united, I must say, 85 students, Amanda. My goodness, at the end of the day, at once. Wow, in order to be able to still have the curriculum coach be a part of the learning process throughout the school. It was awesome because I saw where the light bulb came on, where you started seeing the impact that you thought was going to be into turning into the impact that actually happened, which was simply amazing. By combining some of these students in a way in the different groups. So it was the exceptional children and the academically gifted children and so forth, combining them with English language learners and so forth. And what came out of that was team building, increased relationships, building that community, them identifying themselves as a team, and you rise as a team, you fall as a team, those kinds of things going in there. And then just that change of being able to say, hey, I'm going to the media center, you know, we have our community, you know, builds that excitement just at the end of the day, and it gives them that change and that pride and so forth. That is how you pivot. You've made that lemonade out of those lemons. And that was simply fantastic. Some of the other things that, you know, was interesting is how you, involve governance in that as well, and incorporated that in terms of the dynamics, not just, you know, governance as a topic, but how you integrated that in the actual experience as well, which I thought was exciting. And I think that they probably got a lot out of that. But I also thought that the forming of the bonds was very, very important. And also the encouraging, that they were encouraging each other, because they had different levels and abilities and so forth. We need more of that. We need more of that. But way to pivot, girl, way to pivot. We truly appreciated that. And I'm sure that you can probably take that and model that in some other areas as well. But that was simply amazing. Taking the teachers where you ordinarily would have 4, you made 3 look like 4. Fantastic, congratulations. And if you would like to say a few words as Teacher of the Year 2020, a few words, Amanda, feel free.
First of all, thank you so much. I'm a product of Johnston County Schools, born and raised K-12, specifically in Clayton, and so I teach at Clayton Middle School, and so serving in the community that gave me so much is amazing. This came out of, at the end of last year, our teaching and learning coach was going to lose her position because of budget cuts, and I was like, that can't happen. Like, we can't survive. She serves too many, facets at this school. So I'm dual certified language arts and social studies. So I got my math and science teacher. I was like, hey, I had this crazy idea. We can all teach our regular classes, and then we'll go into the media center and teach social studies, and I'll do all the lead work if you guys would just be my backup. And they were like, we're in it if you're in it. So, 85 kids in the media center was interesting. But like you said, and I think, like I said in my video, what I thought was going to come out of it did. But it was so much more. Like, the kids being able to tell, I love having classes with kids I don't ever get to see anymore. They're so grouped, by ability, because that's just the nature of the beast. But getting them all in there at one time and then chiming in, off of each other and learning from each other and the different perspectives that social studies content lends so easily, dealing with those difficult topics, and then hearing all of them talk to each other is amazing. And I did do check-ins with my kids because, this was my crazy idea. I wanted to make sure it was working on their level too. And they said, we love this. Like, what do you mean it's new class? It's just community. Like, they had no idea. They didn't even see it as a class, which was really good. One of my kids walking down the hallway headed to the media center one day said, "Hi, y'all got to go to class and we get to go to community." So it's like, that's fine. If y'all think it's community, that's fine. Like, everybody, we'll just keep rolling. But it really was awesome. And we thought it was just going to be a 1-year thing. And then towards the middle of the year, I was like, can I please do this next year? And my principal was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I love it. Like, it's totally different. And I just finished my 8th year. So I never want to get stuck in a rut. And teaching 85 kids at one time, not going to get stuck in a rut. There were different things every single day, but it's amazing. It's amazing what 12 and 13-year-olds have to say. It's amazing what they want to do. They are our next generation. They are our next leaders, and I'm excited. I'm excited about what they have to say and offer for us. We're all old. They've got it. They've got it.
Well, congratulations. Thank you again to all the winners. You all are winners in our book. It was just amazing to hear. I mean, I just have mentioned another that that really stuck out for me was also there was one of you, I want to say it was Alan, that had they did something with regards to social studies and them having to choose people in history that you typically don't hear about in history books and so forth, and then had to dressed up, and not just, they didn't keep the information to themselves. They went around the school dressed in character as well. Amazing. You all just keep doing what you're doing. I am so honored to be a part of this and so forth. So thank you, everyone. Still stay safe. Congratulations. Mike, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Monica. Phenomenal job. Congratulations to all of you. I'm blown away by all that you do every day, and then to hear some of the details of what you're working on day in and day out is just, wow. Thank you so much, and we're glad to be able to do this for you, and honored that you were willing to share your best practices, and I look forward to seeing Amanda go on to regional. And represent us at the state level, and from there, I'm sure it's an upward track. So, thank you all for your time today, for the things you do every day. I guess the one thing I want to make sure from a chamber perspective, we understand that you are every day working to create that next generation of our community and of our workforce, and you're building blocks day in and day out that make Johnston County as special as it is. And honestly, thank you's just not enough. I wish there was more words to say for that, but thank you.
Amanda, on behalf of the University of Mount Olive, I want to congratulate you on earning the distinction as the 2020 Flame for Learning recipient. We know you will make Johnston County proud as you compete for the North Carolina Teacher of the Year. As a token of our confidence in your abilities, the University of Mount Olive is providing you with a certificate good for 2 complimentary courses towards your master's degree in education. As an educator, I am sure you will agree that learning is a lifelong endeavor. Again, congratulations and keep up your exceptional work.